Imagine a machine shop floor. You see a complex set of mechanical gears spinning flawlessly at high speed. It looks incredibly efficient, until you look closer and realize those gears aren't attached to a drive belt. They are spinning perfectly and producing absolutely nothing. In project management, we build the exact same machine. We pull up a dashboard and see a sea of green indicators, showing every engineer on the team operating at an 85 to 95% utilization rate. L.O.A.D Analytics built that exact dashboard. They had a mid-sized data platform team of 12 engineers, all fully booked, with tasks distributed fairly across their sprint board. Yet, despite everyone working near maximum capacity, a 12-month roadmap was running 6 months behind schedule. This data reveals that L.O.A.D is the norm, not the exception. The figures show that 64% of quote-unquote fully utilized project teams still miss their critical path dates, and that schedule risk sits heavily in bottlenecked skills. Prioritizing an evenly spread workload across a team creates an optical illusion of efficiency. When you prioritize keeping everyone busy over focusing on what actually needs to get done, you aren't balancing resources, you're hiding them. To figure out why a fully active team was failing, the investigators had to ignore the utilization charts completely. Instead, they mapped the true critical path, the specific, unskippable sequence of tasks that actually dictates when a project finishes. That map exposed the real issue. Out of 12 people, exactly 2 engineers held all the working knowledge for a legacy billing module. Every other data stream in the project depended entirely on that specific piece of code. To keep the sprint board looking fair and balanced, management routinely assigned those 2 critical experts to completely unrelated tickets. Shifting attention between different types of work carries a heavy cognitive penalty. As the data visualizes here, 40% of working time is lost purely to the mental friction of context switching. The very people who controlled the most vital segment of the project were actively starved of the time they needed to complete it. Their focus was broken on purpose, simply because a chart with idle engineers made leadership uncomfortable. When you optimize a schedule to keep everyone at 100% capacity, you strip the system of its shock absorbers. There is zero room to handle a blocked dependency or an urgent bug, meaning a single minor delay immediately cascades into a timeline collapse. The standard industry reaction to a 6-month delay is to hire more people. But adding headcount to a highly coordinated schedule usually just forces the existing experts to spend their limited time onboarding the new hires, slowing everything down even further. Instead of distributing the work wider, L.O.A.D used a contrarian resourcing model focused on concentration. This document outlines the L.O.A.D method, starting with limiting concurrent assignments per person and intentionally overweighting focus on the bottleneck skill. By cutting down the number of simultaneous tasks a person juggles, you preserve their cognitive bandwidth. Then you take the people with the rarest, most vital knowledge, and you fiercely protect their time from outside distractions. The rest of the framework demands that tasks be assigned based on actual demonstrated throughput rather than empty calendar slots. More importantly, it treats unallocated buffer time not as waste to be filled, but as mandatory schedule insurance. L.O.A.D put this into practice by pulling their 2 legacy system experts off of all unrelated work. The other 10 engineers on the team absorbed those stray tickets to clear the way. Clearing a severe bottleneck requires you to completely rethink empty space on a calendar. That unallocated time is a protected asset holding the schedule together. This comparison illustrates exactly what a recovered project looks like. The bottom chart, focused on capacity, shows an allocation board that appears completely uneven and lopsided compared to the standard, perfectly distributed ideal above it. But that lopsided board produced undeniable results. Critical path throughput increased by 2.1 times. Context switching hours for the experts dropped by 58%, and the team recovered 4 of their 6 lost months in a single quarter. You can't buy a software tool to automate this fix. Leveling algorithms only optimize for the metrics you feed them, usually utilization, and they lack the human judgment required to know which 2 people hold the fate of the entire timeline. Achieving operational success requires a strict mandate from leadership. They have to accept the optical discomfort of an unbalanced dashboard as the necessary price of a functional workflow. A beautifully balanced workload chart and a protected critical path are mutually exclusive. You have to choose one. Does your resourcing plan actually protect the work that matters? Or is it just designed to protect the appearance of fairness in your next status meeting?